Welcome to the garage. Most of the time I work in here on the truck, probably build questionable projects or just get away from household responsibilities. But today I'm going to cut my own hair. And why? Well, why not? Actually, you can save yourself a lot of money cutting your own hair, and it's not hard to do. And if you do mess it up, well, hopefully you do it on a Friday so that you'll have the weekend to really consider your life choices or find a really good hat to wear. Anyway, I'm going to show you how I do it. I've been doing this for many years. It's really easy to do, and it really can save you money. If you think about how much you spend at the barber, maybe on the low end, you're spending $20 to $25 every 6 to 8 weeks or so to get your hair cut. That adds up. So let me show you how it's done. First of all, we've got all of our tools that we need. We've got our mirror, our clippers with the different attachments for the length guards. We've got a comb, we've got a bottle of water to spray, and we've got a scissors, and we also have a fine trimmer to get around the edges, make it nice and clean. I want to put on a fancy cape here so that I don't get hair all over myself. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're just going to start with, I'm going to go with the guard that I normally use. It's about a 4. If you go into the barber and say, hey, I want a number 4 around the sides and the back, I like to start with the number 4, and then I'll fade it to a little bit shorter around the edges. So here we go. We're just going to start around the sides and the back, and just take your time. You don't want to rush into this because that's when mistakes are made. What they say is haste makes waste. Now I'm not going to go all the way up to the top of my head. I'm just going to get around the edges, and I'll work the rest of it in, blend it in with the scissors. So right now, I'm just trying to make sure you can see that. Just getting all the heavy stuff off there. I'm going to put my mirror down because I can actually do it better by feel in the back here. Now, if you're like me, you like to leave a little bit of length up top, so you don't want to shave the whole head down to the same length. So what we're going to do now, wet down the hair, and it makes it a lot easier to cut. You'll notice when you go to the barber, they'll usually take a mist bottle or a spray bottle and spray your hair down and get it wet. It makes it a lot easier to cut, and it's a lot neater and cleaner to do. So we're just going to go ahead and spray a bunch of water in there. Okay. Actually, that doesn't look too bad right there. Could actually keep it that length. Should we keep that length? Nah, it's too bulky. Let's go ahead and trim this up. So all we're going to do here is we're going to take the comb, and we're going to put it between our fingers like this. See that hair there? I like to go about the length of the top of my fingers. Pull up the hair and just give it a straight up cut. And we're going to keep doing that until we get it all the way to the back. And the idea here is that you want to fade it up, so you don't want a really heavy line where there's a whole bunch of hair all the way to nothing. And you can just feel where you're at there. And basically when I get to the back of my head here, anything that's above my knuckles, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it off. This I can actually do by feel as well. Now you got to be careful, you don't want to cut the tops of your fingers off. Some of this takes a little bit of practice over time. It's not that hard. When you get used to working behind your head with the scissors, it's actually not too hard. I'm going to go a little bit shorter. I haven't actually cut my fingers for a couple of years. I'm kind of lucky. And if you're not confident with doing the back of your own head, you can get a helper and have somebody else do it for you, but show them how to do it. It's really, really not hard. And you're just going to keep doing that until you get it nice and even all around your head. All right, so when you do the front, if you want to keep your front a little longer, now I'm going to cut it shorter than this, but basically what you're going to do is you're going to pull up to the length that you want. You're just going to pull that hair right above the top of your fingers, and you're just going to cut it off at that length, and you're going to go all the way back to that same length, and then you're going to get each side the same way. So I'm just pulling it up above my fingers, and I keep going back, and I just get the parts that are longer than the last cut that I made. It's actually kind of fun doing this. And honestly, I think I do a better job myself than going to Great Clips. You go to Great Clips or someplace like that, you never know what you're going to get. You get somebody different every time, and they don't know really how you like your hair. This way, I always know what I'm going to end up with. And I always know it's going to be a pretty good cut. At least my wife likes it when I cut it. She usually says it looks good when I get done. So I just keep moving back. Get the hair right above my fingers. It's about a good length for me. When you get to the back, it's hard to see, but by the time you get back there, you can pretty much feel what you have above your fingers. All right, so I got the right side done there. Now I just need to do this side over here. All right, I think I'm going to go a little shorter here. Blend that in a little bit more. It's better to go back and take smaller cuts and go back and cut a little bit more if you need to, instead of just diving in and cutting big old chunks off right away. Especially when you first start, you just want to take it in steps, little bits at a time. It's kind of like working a bonsai tree. Little snips here and there until you get it just how you want it. And the idea is you want to blend it so that it's even on both sides. So you can see over here it's a lot poofier. It's sticking out a lot more, so I need to blend that in. Over here we're getting there. We're getting to a pretty good taper look. We still got a little bit more to cut off. And as I run my comb through it, and I can kind of see quickly if there's any hairs that are really longer than others. And like right there, just want to get those. It is a little tricky working with a mirror. Sometimes it's easier just to look away from the mirror and just feel with your fingers. Just be careful not to cut yourself. I'm going to put a little more water on it. It's getting a little dried out. All right, so over here we still have this stuff that's sticking out a little bit more than I want it to. Now, if I wanted to, I could just take the trimmer, and I'll try that and see if I can just get more of that just with the clipper here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a little bit longer guard on there this time for that part up there. I don't want to, as I go up towards the top of my head, I don't want to keep it at the same length. I want to taper the length from short to a little longer on top. Here again, I have to look away from the mirror because when I look at the mirror and I'm working behind my head, I get really messed up in terms of my orientation. Back here, still needs to cut some. Now I can just feel behind my head here and see that I've got longer stuff back here that I need to get to. So I'm just going to go by feel, and I'm going to grab the hair without even using the mirror. I'm just going to grab the hair and just cut that off. All right, how's that back looking? Looking pretty good. Feels like it's pretty even. All right, so now that I got the main stuff done, just want to take my trimmer here, the fine trimmer, and I want to trim the sideburns, go around the ears, cut those down to right here, and just take that, go right around the ears, and go back here, even out that hairline. Get your neckline. Get the eyebrows. When you get old like me, the hair starts growing out from everywhere. Ears, long eyebrows. So you got to do a little more manscaping here when you get older. Okay. And then just look for any strays, any little stragglers that you might have missed. Clean it up, make it nice and even. Last step here is to get the very back. And for that, I will need another mirror. So I'll have to have two mirrors. I'm going to go in the bathroom and finish that up. But essentially, that's how you do it. Or you could just have your wife or your whoever that you have around, just put this in their hands and ask them, just go ahead and clean up the edges, make sure it's nice and straight, slightly curved, however you like to have it. But there you have it. Probably didn't, I don't know how long it took me, but it didn't take that long to cut my own hair. It's so easy to do, and it saves you a lot of money. So if you think you want to take a crack at doing your own hair, go ahead and give it a try. And if it doesn't work out, the nice thing is hair always grows back. Anyway, that's it for the hair cutting tutorial. And I better go ahead and get my garage floor cleaned up before somebody comes in here and thinks I skinned a raccoon. If you like this kind of content, you want to see more videos like this, please hit like and subscribe. Talk to you later.